I remember some of the parts that involved myself. Um, I hung out with some of the locals at the like Red Bear, like they've got their skyscraper and other territory, and I befriended some of the I think like sewer working guild or just sort of like workers in general, and I hung out with them. It's sort of like a mud bath, and we bonded. And I think later I sort of like you know took that connection that I'd made previously as our way that we secured 2 sacks worth of golden ember for like I think half price. There was a significant discount.
And you also maybe the overarching story at the moment is that you're looking for three caravans that were disappearing, and you got a lead to Ferry Graves, which is across the lake to the west, and you did ask them about Ferry Grave. Do you remember what they said?
Yeah, like terrifically dangerous. Only people who kind of want to, who are willing to tangle with death, go there. Like it's so excessively dangerous and not much to show for it. Yeah, so if we believe them and think they're trustworthy, which I think there was no indication to the opposite of that, it doesn't seem like a place to go.
Yeah,
or maybe a place better left avoided.
And that was the
I think we collectively. I think collectively we all were like, yeah, no, let's pass.
And that was the Redlander scavenger caravan that was missing. And there are 2 other caravans. There's a Greenlander traded caravan that went missing. And then there's a Purple Folk. I don't know if we have established their
Purple Folk Settlers was what it was.
Yes. Indeed. So they are looking for land to settle.
I'm getting robo voice.
Yeah, it's chopping up quite a lot.
I think that was just it passed, hopefully. And so then you moved around the lake, following the lead on the Greenlander caravan, who was supposed to have been traveling to Red Bear Village, then turned around, and they had announced that they will travel around the lake. And if I'm not mistaken, you haven't heard from the Purple Folk settlers yet, or have you heard anything from? No.
I don't think we've heard anything from them at all. No.
And so last time you also traveled along the Red River to the Jade Baobab, and that is where we ended the session. So on the south bank of the Red River, which is like a canyon with a pretty deep river that actually has a red color, and on the south bank of that canyon are these 2 really tall baobabs, and when you arrived there with your 3 trucks, you were greeted by a rotten vegetable, and that is where we pick up to today's session. So the first thing that you see standing in front of these baobabs is that there's something wrong with both of them. They seem to be biomechanical in nature, so they have a mechanical part and a biological part, and the biological part is either dying or dead, and the mechanical parts seem to be somehow growing in a cancerous way, maybe. So there's something deeply wrong with these trees. Yes, we're recording. And when you look at the 2 trees, you can see that there's these bridges and platforms that are suspended between the 2 trees. And there's like some kind of drawbridge, maybe. So something that would connect the where you are to the higher levels, and that is drawn up. And there are a couple of, I would say, teenagers that giggle, and one of them has thrown the vegetable. And they also look, all of them look a bit weird. So they all seem to have, it's difficult to see from afar, but they're either sick or there's something else. So, for example, the boy who threw the potato seemed to have either some kind of metallic-looking glove or some kind of rash on the hand or something. So, what do you do?
For the kid who threw the potato, you say it looks like they have. Do they have both a metallic hand and a rash, or we can't tell which?
It's really so they're I think 10 yards up. It does look like it could also be like a mechanical hand, for example.
Okay.
And all of go on.
Just I'm trying to remember the context because it was just even in the recap I was unclear on it. What's the specific connection? Are we just thinking that there might be information here, or did we get a definite lead for this place?
There might be information here.
Okay.
We were warned by Madame Red Star that to be careful when dealing with the Jade Baobab. Information is incomplete.
Okay.
So NIDA got information about the Jade Baobab way back at the Spectrum run. You were at a Spectrum outpost, if you remember. And the information you got was that the people at the Jade Baobab are in leagues with the Porcelain Princess. And NIDA got the impression that that is what Madame Red Star was referring to.
Got it.
That was way back at the Satrap outpost in session 17.
Mm-hmm.
I think I remember that. We were looking on computers, maybe?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
looked
Right
like
after that.
microfish.
Yeah. Yeah. With this rotten potato being thrown at us, is it 10 yards away, you can kind of maybe see somebody's face. Is there a sour look on the face, or is it perhaps, a misunderstood gesture of welcome?
Or is it just kids playing a prank?
Yeah, that too.
It looks like tough teenagers acting up.
Ne'er-do-wells. Got it.
And you do hear like giggling from them.
Does there look to be near the Jade Baobab any sort of equivalent of a I don't know, parking lot?
You can definitely see that there are tracks of caravans on the ground. There's enough space where you can just park the cars. You can also see that behind the baobabs, there's a slight decline towards the lake, and you can see a ferry that is it called Maud there. And, there's how do you call it? A jetty, maybe.
You mentioned a drawbridge.
Yeah, so there's these wooden planks leading up and around the tree, and the last bit is drawn up. If you've played Breath of the Wild, you might know what I mean. So
there's no way up per se.
Not if nobody lowers the bridge or the ramp, I would say.
I'll lean out of the truck and say, "You looking to trade?"
So they laugh, and how teenagers are. They kick each other and then point at you, And the bravest of them says, "Yeah, we trade, sure. What do you have?"
Got a lot of things. What you looking for?
Do you have smoke?
Let's give him gold and amber.
Are you asking about tobacco or something else?
Tobacco is cool.
Oh no.
I look at Vigo.
Vigo looks at you. I just smoked the. He says, I just smoked the pure stuff. I don't have tobacco, and I'm not giving them the purple haze.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not really. I don't feel good about giving drugs to kids either.
Wait, do we have any tobacco?
I mean, you can say that you smoke, then you would have tobacco.
Is that something that'd be in one of these in one of the packs, like an adventurer's pack or a porter's pack?
Sorry.
Yeah, go on, please.
I was gonna say I do remember it being being in one of the kits. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
I feel like it might be one of the hikers ones.
Probably not the farm boy special.
Oh, okay. It's in the shaman's gear. It includes both tobacco and tobacco in quotes.
None of you have the shaman kit, I guess.
Do we have any leaves that we can just like grind up and tell them is tobacco real quick?
I mean, I think that you were taking notes on plants and stuff in the beginning of the journey. I remember that. It's completely reasonable to assume that you took some samples.
I've sketched them. Yeah, I can just like crumple them up real quick and put them in a little baggie. I'm sure Vigo's got a baggie or a satchel or something like that that I can borrow.
Mm-hmm.
Dangle it out the window.
So they do lower the bridge, or the ramp, and one of the girls comes closer, and Nida, she has some kind of worm infection. So there's some kind of mechanical. It's minor. It's not. It doesn't look terrible, or it doesn't seem to hurt her or cause a pain or anything. But it is visually. It can be seen. What is it?
I think it's wires that are starting to stretch around from her hairline to her face.
Nice.
And you can see it. They're subcutaneous, but there's discoloration of the skin underneath. And you can see the patterns almost like they're on a circuit board.
Cool. I like it. So she extends her hand.
I put the pouch out.
And she takes it and she smells and she says, "Ugh, that's weird. Is that really tobacco?"
It's the best we've got.
And
get out here, you know.
Vigo actually passes her, pages from the Cockflower Bible to roll the tobacco up. And she tries clumsily to roll one, standing, leaning, against the truck.
I sigh and say, "Vigo, could you help her?"
Vigo goes out and expertly rolls one with one hand. What's the rest doing?
In whatever, what's the most like impressive looking thing on any of the wagons?
I think probably the gun turrets.
All right. In hopes of luring some of the perhaps jaded teens, I like make a show of like, opening a casing and banging on some things, because inevitably some curious kids are going to be like, "Whoa, he's opening up the insides of the big gun. That's cool. I want to get close enough to look inside there."
Yeah, so there's not even a question. Soon enough, after 2 or 3 minutes, after the girl broke the ice, actually, all the teenagers are in and around the trucks, and there are 2 of the boys next to you in the gun turret, asking questions about the gun.
Mm.
And then you hear a shrill voice, like a female voice, and on one of the platforms, there is a woman in. So she is described as a metal nun. Ned, how do you envision a metal nun looking? So there has to be some kind of cybernetic element to the metal nun, but you can take it any way you want.
Metal nun?
Yeah, N-U-N.
Yeah, okay. I was just making sure. Well,
she does seem to have some authority. She seems to be very determined as well.
Well, she's dressed in a traditional nun's habit and that sort of thing, with the hat and the robes and everything. But instead of her, parts of her have been replaced, multiple parts of her have been placed with metal. She has metal hands, her eyes are metal, and even other parts of her that are still flesh have just pieces of wire or electronics or whatever stuck to it, because she's following the doctrine that this is my flesh. And so she must follow that directive by replacing her flesh with his flesh.
Awesome. And she says, "Greetings, travelers. Come up, come up." And she beckons to you to come closer.
I will approach.
Mercy is weakness.
The prophet will shame those who show mercy, because they must benefit themselves before the other. That way we will all benefit.
Very true, very true. But this is just my name. I'm Sister Mercy is Weakness. Who are you?
I am Nat Mordecai. I am a humble servant of the prophet.
So you are the leader of your caravan?
Yes. We are the ones who have financed and sent this out to bring balance to the spreadsheets.
And she eyes suspiciously the gun turrets. If you leave your weapons in the auto wagons, you can come up.
Well, it would be a little hard for us to take the gun turrets off the line.
She's not talking about the gun. She's talking about like swords and pistols.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm carrying a bow and my whip, so.
I have a question. I know you had mentioned, or I think last session was like in the maze or whatever, Sarko had like disappeared like for a lifetime, right?
Yes.
Which I just remembered by looking at the sheet.
You got the radiant blast.
Yeah, the full spectrum radiation blast, and I can't remember what was necessary. It's not in an active slot now, but I can't remember what it was going to take to do that. I feel like it involved something, but I can't remember.
Yeah, it's just time. So it's
Okay.
1 day of meditation. It doesn't have to be meditation, but some kind of focusing on it, or doing the
Okay.
ritual, whatever it is that you need to do to activate it. But it takes 1 day.
Okay. If it's been enough time since last time, I'm going to switch him around just for novelty's sake.
I think we can safely assume that in the last 3 days you would have had the time to do that.
Cool. I'll switch that.
All right. Nat will say, we will honor the customs of your home. And he will formally take his bow off and go and return it to the
I look at
caravan.
Nat and say, do you want me down here as security? Or do you want to just leave Vigo with everything?
It may be a good idea to keep someone with the caravan. We know that the youth here are somewhat uncouth and would prefer not to cause a problem.
Right. Uncouth youth.
Is Azure coming?
Yeah. Is there any way that I can sneak a shotgun in?
Shotgun. Let me see. I mean, you are really, really bulky, and I think last time you bought somewhere like clothes that fit you.
Yeah, I've got more dry weave armor. Oh, yeah, it doesn't specify if it's a sawed off or not. So I guess it's just a regular shotgun. I'll just bring Cataract with me, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, any shotgun can become a sawed-off.
True, but not right now. Not in the clutch.
I mean, give me a saw and I can turn it into a sawed off in about 10
Well,
minutes.
I'm leaving my shotgun, so feel free.
All right.
So I would like to take a few minutes to do an oracle.
Mm-hmm.
If that's all right. Say one moment, Nat, I just have to attend to something, and I go into one of the backs of the trucks and I sit down and I meditate, and then I bust my oracle move. So what do I have to roll for that?
And then you would follow Nat.
Then I would follow Nat, yes.
Sako, are you also coming? Or do you stay in the caravan?
Yeah, I'll follow along.
Okay.
Oh wait, I think I'm muted. No.
No.
Nope, we can hear you.
Okay, so Nat and Sako will move up the the ramp and these their rope ladders and.
Do you guys want to wait until I get the oracle to see what happens? Like if I get a vision that we're all going to be chopped up, you probably want to know that.
The Red Wedding.
Sure.
All right. Cool.
All right. So is it? I think you have described it before. It's more like you're sitting in the lotus position.
Right. And I light incense. I light some incense that kind of puts me in a contemplative mood.
Mm-hmm.
And then it takes me like 5 minutes and like total, and then like takes me like a minute to kind of kick in, and then I go into the dream time and see what I see, and then I'm back.
Mm-hmm. What do you? So your oracle is about the specifically about the Jade Baobab village.
Do I specify, or do you specify?
You specify. You
okay. Yeah. We'll make it. You know what? Let's do like a. Let's do the baobab.
You could try to find out what happened to the caravans, for example. You could say what will happen to us, once we cross the bridge, or you can specify.
I wanted to see, like, if it's going to be dangerous for us to go in there unarmed, basically.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I think what you see is you're somehow inside the baobab in some kind of throne room, some kind of big, pretty spacious room. And there are 3 people talking to the 4 of you are standing before them, and you can hear whispering of a third voice. So there are these 2 people on some kind of platform before you. One of them is the female leader that you have seen as a male leader. And then you hear the whispered voices of a third one. And he says, they are lying. Don't believe them. And then you snap out of your vision.
Right.
But you didn't see any kind of violence.
All right. That's fine. I'll see if I can appraise the. I'll whisper to Nat what I saw, and then I'll do the same. Or we can all kind of gather together, and I'll whisper to them, like, I had a vision where somebody was accusing us of lying, but it seems like no one's going to gun us down if we go in there unarmed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I look at Ajax. Can you keep him out of trouble, please?
Oh, yeah. So, Puckett, did you say something?
Yeah, I look at Ajax and I say to, telepathically to Ajax, can you keep them out of trouble, please? I mean, let's be honest. You're the smartest one here.
Scoffs. That is obvious. I was promised fish like 2 weeks ago. What happened?
I'm working on it. Do you want look at that lake? Do you want fish out of that lake?
Yes. It's not that we're in the desert. Like, it's practically you, the person with the 2 hands.
Look, there's Vohm infections everywhere here. Do you want to eat Vohm infected fish?
No, I want the other fish.
You want the good stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So listen, I promise you. Have I ever lied to you?
Yes.
That's not true, and you know it.
Another
because you
lie?
can read my mind.
That's why I'm saying it.
Listen, the second we get someplace where there is actual good fish, I will get you all the fish you can eat. And then the next day, when you wake up out of your fish coma and you're hungry again, finally, I will get you all the fish you can eat again.
All right, then. And he strolls after Ned. Okay, so you are led over these platforms and bridges to an opening into the baobab tree. And so how does it manifest that the tree is dead and that the mechanical part has taken over? Hey, what do you think? So how do we see the entrance to this room?
Well, I think. Sorry, I'm sorry. Did you call on me or no?
Yeah, Abe. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay. Cool. Well, I think that when we walk into the tree area, like in the tree part, it winds up that like it really kind of smells like rotting vegetation and rotting wood. You can see like it's where it should be like bright and red in the center. It's just all kind of blackish. There's lots of stuff like biomechanical stuff kind of bleeding down from the ceiling, and like a lot of cables, and and big hoses and things like that. And I think there's got some transparent tubes that's pumping green liquid into the tree. That's like green glowing liquid into the tree, and it kind of like the lights kind of pulse, like and maybe to a rhythm of like the sounds of machinery.
Mm-hmm. And
So
that might also meet the illumination inside the.
Yeah, totally. And it's like it's not high end illumination. It's fairly dim, and then it kind of pulses dimmer, and then kind of comes like in that rhythmic pattern.
Mm-hmm. And there's one question for Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
So Sarko, it seems as if Sister Mercy's weakness, that she is some kind of disciple of some kind of cargo cult, and that in that case the original like seat of the religion was a company, and the company, let me see, they produce. Second, it's a company for a biomancy company, and it's called the Five Dog Corporation. And so the room that you are in is somehow a religious room devoted to that cargo cult. So how does that manifest? The five dog.
Mm-hmm. Dog like woof woof.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Let's see here. Biomancy. Is there any that corporation? Like how long ago was it? Like ish. Like long ago. Long ago.
Yeah. It is. Let's see. The long ago.
Okay, so they could get up to some big time stuff.
Mm-hmm. I can give you a minute if you want to.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what I think what they do, or one of the things that they do that's kind of strange. There are some like very old parahumans in tubes, in like like in a back to tank type situation. But the liquid has long since drained away, but they're still like airtight, so they're just sort of like mummies in there. They're not coming back to life anytime soon, but they're pretty well preserved. And the adherents of this religion think that it's one of the keys to long life, and so they all sleep vertically in tubes that they have improvised.
Nice.
They have to like strap themselves in, kind of like how you would strap someone down to an operating table if they were seizing or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or like actually like an astronaut, right? Like they have to like clip in to a bed or whatever. But yeah, they all sleep standing up uncomfortably. Ooh. But it's necessary.
And so in this room there are these Bacta tanks, but they're void of fluid. And I think that the desiccated, is that a word? Bodies, that they are prayed to as saints, maybe saints from the parent religion.
As it happens, there's 5 of them left, and they assume these must be the 5 dogs, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nice. And so Sister Mercy's weakness, when she walks, there's also this like whirring or whizzing sound, that there's some kind of clockwork or cybernetic thing that that helps her move, and she sits down in at a it's not a throne per se, but it is some kind of big chair that has been grown like magically or biomechanically grown out of the tree, and then there's maybe some kind of pews. Is that a word? Pew?
Like a collar? Oh,
Like
pews
in-
like a church.
Yeah, in a church where I can sit down. And she addresses Ned as the leader of the caravan, and she says, "So, how can we thank you for your visit?" And she says it pretty sarcastically.
Nat will act like he doesn't even notice the sarcasm and goes, I am here trying to find information on some of my colleagues. There was a trade caravan of ours, of my fellow Greenlanders, who was in this area. We understood they were circling the lake in this direction. We are simply trying to find out information as to what befell them.
And she says, "Yes, I've talked to Executive Adelina, the leader of the Greenlander caravan. Yeah, they moved. They passed through. I don't want to get the dates wrong. I think 2 weeks ago is what you got from the. So it would be probably 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, she says. And the caravan moved north. We did trade a little bit. How does
Beneficial to both of you, I hope.
Yeah, it's beneficial to us. That is the most important thing.
That is how all trade should be.
See, we're on the same wavelength. Do you have something to trade?
Perhaps. What is it you are searching for?
Weapons. We are always interested in weapons.
Out of character, do we have any weapons besides our personal ones?
There's those microwave wands, if those are weapons.
We traded those.
Oh, okay.
All of them?
There's only one crate.
Oh, all right.
For what it's worth,
mean-
that's I thought we had 3 sacks here. I was looking at the trade goods tab. It may just be out of date. So
Oh, yeah, I guess I could look at that, couldn't I?
We have 2 stacks of golden ember. Oh, wait a minute. I'm looking at the caravan tab. You're looking at trade good.
Oh, that's probably what's happening. They're probably getting out of sync.
Yeah, I cannot remember the last time we touched the actual caravan or the trade goods tab.
Gotcha. It looks like the golden amber was added, but yeah, I remember the microwave wands coming up as something that was traded in like the first session. So I think you're right that they're gone.
Yeah. What we currently have that we can trade is we have 2 sacks of golden ember.
Which we just got.
Right. And it's probably not going to be worth that much here.
Mhm.
We have a replacement human body for Saffron's mother. We have 2 magic diving suits, which have turned out to be very useful. So getting rid of those is probably not what we want to do. But, and this might be interesting, we do have replacement parts.
Yes. You have a crate of replacement parts that could be useful to repair the auto wagons, to be honest.
I have a it's not a lot, but I do have a sack's worth. Let's see, scrolled by it. I have a sack of replacement parts that I scavenged from that pile of golems near where we found the Ultra and the tank. I don't know if that's
And
useful to these folks.
And if we do this right, given the way they like cybernetics, or at least the appearance of cybernetics here, maybe golem parts could be, hey, look, metal hands.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the sad thing is, If only he'd caught us like 2 or 3 weeks ago before Hamish and I gave away all my weapons to like the kids at Near Moon, like making up stories about what this dagger killed and how valuable it is, and you must use this and become a great hero.
Mhm.
Because all the stuff I've got now, I'm pretty much set.
It did bolster the reputation of Hamish McRainbow as a folk hero, so
It did,
it served a purpose.
and it amused both of us, which is even more important. So yeah, I've got my neural whip, I've got grenades, which no, I've got my pistols, I've got my satrap radiant gun, and I've got my sniper rifle, and I don't. It's if somebody wants to sell their easier to get stuff like the musket or something like that we can get readily at pretty much any place. I can make sure that you have weapons until we get to the next place.
I have
A new one.
I have a whip and a bow, and Nat wouldn't get rid of their whip. So I don't know that one bow is going.
Uh-oh.
I'm still here. I think
I think, yeah.
I'm here.
Nat
Dennis is
froze.
I'm present.
Yeah. But what he said is one bow doesn't make a deal. Like it
Yeah, no, we don't have a significant amount of weapons. It's not like we have crates of pistols or shotguns or anything
Right.
like that.
Well, I mean, right now, most of I guess there's the whole mission of profit for y'all. But if information is the main thing, we might not need to trade goods for it, right?
So, Sister Mercy's Weakness also mentions that they sell obsidian shards. So if you're interested in trade goods, just to buy them to make a profit.
Hmm.
What are obsidian shards used for?
Yeah.
They are used definitely for weapons. They are prized as blades, weapons, or curious.
Or what? What was the last one?
It says curious. I think they meant
curios. Yeah. Okay.
curios.
Right. So just like things you put on your desk or whatever.
Alrighty.
Oh, there's a.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Was that just me, or did everybody go away?
That was you.
That's just
Okay, I heard right before I went. I heard somebody say, "You just froze."
Do we want to take time to do research on market, like do market research on the obsidian shards and see if they're worth anything elsewhere?
So you could. Sister Mercy's Weakness just mentioned that they sell trade goods and these obsidian shards. So what you could do is you could rest here for a week. Do whatever you want to do. And among these things, there is market research.
Is this spot worth camping out at? I mean, it seems like it might be interesting for like a Scooby-Doo mystery, but I mean, they seem pretty threadbare.
Should I?
Go on. Sorry,
I was going to say, it does seem like, potentially they could have clues related to what Sarko is after. I can't remember if I need to do anything in order to roll that percentile chance or if it's just straight up.
No, you have to do something and you can't do it at a destination. So the Jade Baobab is officially, I think, a destination. Let me just double
It's
check.
not like a discovery or whatever? Okay.
It's not a discovery. Well... It's a bit. This area is really weird because
the Three Sticks. Yeah.
So the Three Sticks Lake is. This is the area. So we're in a new area. We also have to roll misfortunes and encounters when you leave. And when you rest, it says it's the Jade Baobab village. So that implies to me that it is a destination. But then, if I scroll down. The Jade Baobab village itself is also a discovery because it gives you 45 experience points. So I guess you're right. I guess you can look, and I mean, narratively, it makes sense anyways because they dabble in some kind of abmortal
Right.
things, which would also mean that Azure could make the roll as well.
Okay.
So before you make the roll, though, is that the agreement that you rest here for a week? That's mainly for Ned as the caravan leader who would make the market research.
That's up to the rest of y'all. I mean, do y'all want? Is there enough here to keep us busy for a week? Because Matt will be doing the market research.
Yeah.
Okay,
So there's the ferry. You could inquire about the destination where the ferry goes. You could theoretically work. You could scout the area, the surrounding, to make more discoveries. You could work.
What happened to the map in the map?
It's still there. It's you have to scroll down really.
Oh, there it is. I don't know. It disappeared for a second. Yeah, I wouldn't mind checking out Iron Pike or at least trying to dig up information on it.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Do we want to? I mean, I have to do like I'm down to do my search. You know, I'm searching for Vome parts or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm down for that. But as long as everybody else is into it, I'm happy with that.
So it seems like you're staying.
Doesn't sound like there's any objections to it. So
Cool. All right. So let's get this in order. So the first thing you do is you check into the Jade Baobab, and you can see that Sister Mercy's weakness is not the most charming person, but you are allowed to stay in a synthetic basket for a fee of 10 cash per week per person.
A synthetic basket? What exactly is that?
That is a great question. I throw it back to you. What do you think?
Okay, I'm going to say it's like one of those capsule hotels like they have
In Japan.
in Japan, except it's woven almost like a cocoon.
And so it's
there's like bird nests that kind of look like gourds.
Yeah, okay.
But is it? I like the idea that it's individual baskets for everyone, and it's really like cramped and tiny.
Or one of those hanging tents like they have for hiking now.
I love it. So it is this basket. So it's also semi-transparent. And it's suspended between the two trees. It's pretty. It's like a rope bridge that leads from the tree to the basket, and everyone gets their individual one. And so let's start with Azure. How do you look for the? So do you search the tree? Do you try to sneak into hidden areas of the tree? Do you ask around for information? How do you try to find parts?
Oh, since I'm a fucking all coked up and a chatterbox,
Yeah.
talk everybody's fucking ears off, fucking, and just annoy the shit out of them until they give up information.
Cool. I like it.
And then when I was 12, I saw my dog get hit by a drone, and that kind of thing. Like the typical cokehead rant.
And we see a montage of you like wildly gesturing at pretty impassive villagers with their cybernetic eyes and ears and antennas and so forth.
Right.
And
then I'd like to corner the metal nun, Sister Mercy, and kind of like animatedly poking her chest and looking earnest at the same time.
Yeah. All right, make your roll.
All right. 19.
Nice. So
Somebody hooked it up because I was so annoying. They're like, just give her what she wants.
Yeah, it's not the nun who points you towards the good stuff. It is actually, let's see, what is his name? Give me a second. I did write it down somewhere. Well, so it's, I didn't write the name down. So let's call them, he of the second hand. And he's part of a clan that that actually goes deep into the baobab tree to look for relics of the long ago, relics of the 5 dog corporations. And he tells you that he has, because you were obviously, so how do you describe the containers where the vial parts are in? You have found a couple of one already.
In this one, like the Cocoon hotels that we're staying in, it's one of those, but it's really, really old.
Mhm.
Upon opening it, a cloud of gas comes out of it, and then there's like it's vial parts. I forget what vials are. Are they complete energy or something like that, or?
I would say that they're some kind of evil elves or something. So like Elric of Melniboné type.
Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, we'll say there's so it opens up and there's a desiccated corpse in there, but it's surrounded by this ornate biological armor.
Mhm.
It might be more ceremonial than practical.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe there's a black sword in there.
Don't think so. So you're looking actually for organs.
Right. Inside the armor, I find, let's see, I have a brain, I have a liver, I have a heart. Let's say intestines.
Nice.
So
appropriately gross. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, and it's like, I had it's totally unruly to harvest them, and I have to put them in a bag, and it's kind of like, comedic with like the guts, flaying all over the place.
Mm-hmm. So he of the second hand leads you to like a really deep chamber, probably even in like under the ground in the roots of the tree. Awesome. And Sako, how does he look for information?
Yeah, I think seeing how much like Vohm corruption, like is there Vohm corruption in the machine parts itself, it seems to, of the tree?
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely.
After maybe hearing about, there's deeper parts of the tree where some of these, the locals sometimes go. I ask around if there's any deep parts of the tree that seem like perhaps less corrupted, where there's the least amount of corruption, with the intent there of reattuning with my salamander on that day to try to like connect and see if I can poke around and find any information.
Nice. Okay, then let's make a roll.
All right. Wait. No, those were not D10s. Sorry. There's a D10 and a D8. Yep. All right. Oh, hey, 03. Cool. I think that's low enough to get one.
That is definitely low enough to get one. So you connect the salamander to. So you're again probably not led, but it has been described to you where to find the less corrupted parts. And there must be some kind of room in the roots that had been the maybe not the command center, but the center where the baobab was kind of conceived, like where it grew from.
Oh, perhaps do I find some sort of information about baobab stem cells?
Yes, exactly. So if you have these cells, you can plant a new baobab tree. But it has the it's obviously half biological, half mechanical, and you can connect to the mechanical parts, and yeah, you get information about these stem cells. And if you want to, you can also write down maybe a sample of baobab stem cells that you can make your experiments with. And then we have obviously Ned. Ned, are you again looking for other caravans? Do you talk to the people there?
Yes, we will. Yeah, we talked to Sister Mercy, and she said that they were only looking for weapons, which we don't have. So I guess we'll talk to the other caravans.
There's also another leading member who is a Psi priest, and his father time hath no purpose. But you can safely assume that, or maybe not, but probably they are on the same wavelength with the sister.
Well, we also know that we were told that they're lying to us.
Yes, somebody is lying. But
they were accusing us of lying. Correct?
Yes.
The third voice. There
accused you in that hypothetical situation of lying, but you also know that there are rumors that they work with the Porcelain Princess. So, I mean, if you shared the information, it could be that maybe part of the community is working with. There's like some kind of spies, or there's some kind of traitors, or there are some people who would like to establish a connection with a princess or already have one, but that's not true for the community as a whole.
Okay, actually, why don't we do this? Why don't we start by talking to the other caravans and asking them about the missing Greenlander caravan to see if any of them saw it on the road.
So if you don't mind, could you please roll 4d6 to see what kind of caravan it is and what's their attitude towards you?
Can somebody... hang on, it's over here.
Dude, you have the UVG dice. You can roll them physically if you want.
Oh, you just reminded me I have those and I haven't been using them. What shame.
That's so beautiful.
Pink and purple, right?
Yep. Wait, no, these ones are black and like hot pink.
Oh,
yeah,
come on.
I got those on accident because I didn't realize there were multiple colorways, but I have that same set.
These ones looked the most readable to me, and it seems to hold up.
Y'all went for legibility? What the hell? Why would you make a decision like that?
I figure if it's Roman numerals for starters, I need to give myself some advantage to use it.
Okay, so listen, I don't know if you've noticed this yet. If you look on the dice, usually with the more complex Roman numerals,
yes, there's also a tiny.
Yeah, you'll see the tiny Arabic numeral.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say I rolled a 5, 6, 6, 6.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Hail Satan.
It's in the, and I did it on Roll for Your Party, so.
Yes,
dice roll of the
there's proof. All right, so let's see. I know that 5 is patrol. 6 are halflings, and then attitude is the size is huge, so there's a shitloads of them, and the attitude is they're your allies now, so they're really, really. Okay, so
I think that's the first decent dice roll that Nat's made.
that is true.
So let me guess, Vigo's just been hanging out with these halflings and like hooking them up with pipe quote quote tobacco?
I think so. I think so. In front of the Jade Baobab, in the meantime, like during the week, probably in the beginning of the week, the following. Let's see. Where's the? There's like I don't know, like a dozen or so swift snails. They're big like horses. They're like really quick like horses, but they are actual snails. And every of these snails have 4 halflings in some kind of uniform. And they bonded definitely with Vigo over halfling pipe leaf. And they are looking for taxes, people paying their taxes, but they're also interested in bribes and food, and obviously in pipeweed. They are charging the Jade Baobab taxes that they refuse to pay. So there's they also refuse to leave the halfling. So there's a whole thing. But during the week, you can definitely bond with them, and they're really, really fond of you, Ned. How do you like? They're interested in bribes and in food, in weed, and in people paying taxes. What is your approach? Like, how do you win their hearts?
I'm muted again. Hang on. I'm trying to look at our trade goods list.
Mm-hmm.
Now, paying taxes is not something I do. So
No, the opposite. You're the Cayman Islands of the breed.
Exactly. That's helping others instead of expecting them to help themselves. Why should I do that? So we would have to trade something.
I mean, you could. I don't know. Maybe you could cook
is
something
a kind
for
of
them.
tax.
Also, yeah, that is true. But I mean, you also spend some money, and that money could be invested in sweets or in food. So if we go to the before you come up with your answer, if we go to the what's it called, the trading thing.
The caravan tab is usually the one that I maintain most. I completely forgot about the trade goods tab.
Yeah, the traders is what I maintain is what you like, where you bought stuff, not what you actually have.
Okay.
I see.
So you spend a week and 5 times the local expenses, which is 50. So you would invest 50 cash in something. Could be coffee, cat coffee, or I don't know, bratwurst or what have you.
Somebody said something about sweets a second ago.
Yeah, could be.
Okay. Why don't we just spend it in sweets? They're halflings. They probably like sweets.
Definitely. And so, I mean, do you invite them to your super tiny capsule hotel? Probably not. Is it more like around the campfire telling stories? Do you take them to the lake? What is the
Let's do the campfires telling stories approach.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
And we'll do the food and drink. We'll try to recreate one of the party scenes from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, the halflings.
Can we get some fireworks?
I mean, somebody can man the turrets.
Okay,
I
sure.
think me and Vigo are on that.
Like a Kurdish, what's it called? When they marry, they shoot in the air.
We're not wasting ammo. Are you kidding me? We bought extra ammo just in case. We're not. No.
Just don't roll a 13 and you're fine.
All right, so cool. Yeah, the halflings are all over the suites, and at the end of the week, I think you picked obviously the obsidian, and let's see how can
Dennis
we make.
got disconnected.
Oh, again? I was looking on the. Now that gives me a minute to read the rules again. Because how could we even possibly reach 30 plus? So I think I mean it's a 20. If Dennis would roll a 20, he's allowed to roll again, and then you add it. So that's the one, I guess. Yeah, so they're rolling a d20 plus the charisma, I guess. Is it? Or is it a straight roll?
What's this for?
Market research. Oh, relevant test. Yeah, that looks like charisma. Oh, there's Dennis again.
I do not know what my machine is doing to me today.
I don't know. Normally I'm one with a crappy connection. Okay. At the end of the week, after a lot of storytelling and speech sharing, we see how the market research goes. So you would have to roll your d20. Do you have like a especially high or low charisma?
Is it? Are we talking to me?
Yes, Dennis. Does Ned have what's the charisma?
My charisma is 12,
which is plus nothing, I guess.
Yeah.
So just a flat d20. High is good.
Yep. And what is that doing there? 16 high enough?
16 is decent. So, you would have to pick because we're doing 3 areas. Which, destination? Which destination did you pick for the first? If you go to the map tab.
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
I hope I have.
There it is. Okay.
Yes.
This is the one around the lake here.
Yeah, you had the 3 sticks. So you could do Glass Bridge, but that is where you traveled through. Galgrass or Moon Facing Fort as the first destination.
Are we at 3 sticks or Glass Bridge?
Sorry, 3 sticks. So it would be Glass Bridge or Galgrass.
Yeah, that's the only 2 choices we have, and Glass Bridge is where we're coming from, so it'd be Gallgrass or Gallgrass. Yes,
and in Gallgrass they say the halflings say they don't need it much, so the factor would be 1, but there is a place 1 further stop away that pays twice, and I would assume refracting trees.
Refracting trees. Okay.
I'll make a note. So that is obsidian and then times 2. So I think it makes no sense if you pick refracting trees again. So I would give you the next option, which is then Spectrum Run, which is also a place you have been, but you could return, or Spectrum Palace.
Well, let's go with Spectrum Palace then.
Okay, and make a roll again, a d20.
That didn't work. Only an 8 this time. 6 isn't good, is all I remember.
Yeah, they don't want it at all. But is it Cage Run or Ivory Plains?
I thought we were doing location.
Yeah. So Spectrum.
Ivory Plains.
Yes, Spectrum Palace was like once, and Ivory Plains is 0 for the obsidian stuff.
Your refracting trees is double.
Yes.
Which, can't argue with double.
No,
Well, it's not triple, but, it's...
it's not too bad. And then if you haggle nicely, you can double or even triple the amount again.
Uh-huh.
So, how much do these sacks cost, and how much are they worth?
Obsidian is, I think, 500. So it's 500 to buy them at a location.
Okay.
So it's
And
pretty good.
can we do 2 market research rolls?
Yeah, if you want to also do market research, of course.
Yeah, because we got the golden ember sitting there. I mean, I'm just hanging out with the trucks right now, so there's no reason I can't be hanging out with halflings. And
That is true.
Didn't we do the Golden Ember? Didn't we do its market research last time?
We bought 2 sacks of it at 7,500 per sack. I don't think we actually did any research on how much it costs or how much we can sell it for.
Okay.
I mean, you did market research with the nomads. I do remember, but I think at that time what was the trading good though? You did it for. Was some local good that they had, which was pretty shitty, I think.
Yeah,
it was not for the drugs in any case.
Okay, we did something else. Okay.
Yeah. Scrolling through.
Yeah, my notes had us buying it, but I didn't note any research. So.
Let's see if I can find something in my. They had the chitin caps. Chitin cap, I think. And selling for 100 per second. I think that was not not valuable enough for you.
Yeah, okay.
Cool. So, NIDA, what is NIDA doing during the week? So you could theoretically, scout for discoveries. You can just ask around, obviously. You can always work. You could do market research for the drugs.
These halflings are kind of cracking me up. I think this is one of those things where I may have spent the week doing trick shots with my sniper rifle for them, just to amuse them while they were getting blazed on their quote-unquote pipe weed.
And so one of them, Toll Master Josip, he really becomes enamored with net especially. And 3 of their, they always ride with 4 of them on one snail. And I think he's very gluttonous, and he convinces the other 3 to accompany you wherever you go in the area. They won't accompany you, all the way to the Black City, but they feel some kind of friendship with Ned especially, but also with the others of the caravan.
Would you say they feel a kind of fellowship?
Yeah, maybe it is a fellowship of halflings and weirdos.
Fellowship of smoke rings, perhaps?
Of smoke rings. And they're
the fellowship of the smoke ring. There we go.
They're definitely really fond of Vigo as well, and they're mostly like the four you talk to. They are the wake and bake type, so they wake up and have already their first pipe weed running. Hanging around with the halflings is cool, but you could still do one of these things.
Well, I think that's how I started trying to do the market research.
Oh, cool.
Just like saying, oh, yeah, okay, I see what you're doing there with the smoke rings. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Blow a few in a sequence. I'll put a round through
them. Mm-hmm. Obviously, they can. It's not quite Gandalf type of like whole ships or something, but they're pretty dexterous with the rings.
So yeah, I want to go ahead and.
How do you invest the money? Is it like sweets, the way that Ned did it, or is it more liquor, or how do you invest the 50 cash?
Oh. I think I make a couple more promises to Ajax.
Mm-hmm.
And Ajax, yeah, because his tail darts are narcotic. They'll knock people out in sufficient quantities. But I'm pretty sure you could get a decent buzz or a decent high off those things if he doesn't just fling the entire tail worth at you.
I think if you share like one dart with the 4 halflings, so the 50 cash goes into fish that you give to Ajax, and Ajax, what's it called? Sedates the halflings. Hilarious. So yeah, they do like the buzz. It's if you share it, I think it's definitely a downer. I think it's something like what's it called? DMT. So you need to get that like death-like state, which they do seem to enjoy somehow.
I figured they'd just be robo tripping, but
what do you mean robo tripping?
Oh, like drinking a lot of cough syrup, and I mean, yeah.
I never I did codeine once when I had they pulled off my wisdom teeth, and that was like just be kicked by a mule. I was just out.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's I don't know if it's still a thing, but it was a thing like 10, 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Probably illegal in Europe by now. Let's see. So roll plus your charisma modifier if you have one.
I don't think I do. My charisma is 9.
9, you should be fine with plus minus 0, but I just double check because I don't know by heart. Yes.
And I'm rolling d20.
And you roll a d20.
Okay.
And you want a 20 so that you can roll again.
I got a 16.
16 is not too bad. So that's the Ember. And again, it's 3 destinations. And I think we can safely assume that you don't ask for the glass bridge, because that's where you bought it.
Yeah. Let's go Gallgrass, Refracting Trees, and Spectrum Palace.
And it's the same result again. So Gallgrass, they don't need it, which means its factor would be 1, I guess.
Okay.
But 1 stop further at the Refracting Trees, it's twice. So not only the obsidian, but also the golden amber. And then it would make no sense to now do the research for Refracting Trees. So now you can choose Spectrum Run or Spectrum Palace.
Well, you said if we get this, if we do, we'll get the same result if we go to Spectrum Palace, correct? So we'll just have the same die roll, or we'll have the same result as we got with the obsidian shards.
No. What I said is, so you rolled a 16, and then it
Yes.
says at the Gelgrass they don't want it, but one step further, which is the refracting trees, it's double.
Okay. So would I
That's all.
roll again for Spectrum Palace?
Or Spectrum Run, what do you prefer?
You know, I don't think we want to go back to Spectrum Run.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're looking at Spectrum Palace probably.
All right. Do you make your D20 roll?
Okay, it looks like that's 16 again.
So that would mean they don't need it, but one step further, and that is either Cage Run. Let's do Cage Run just for fun.
Mm-hmm.
So Cage Run would take the double prize as well. And then the last destination is probably Ivory Plains for you. Or I don't know. Yeah, I think that makes the most sense.
Okay. Yeah, that works. So roll again for Ivory Plains.
Uh-huh.
That is a 13.
I think 13 is probably the same. Let's check. Oh no, interesting. Haha. It is also a factor of 2. And now it says it's popular but illegal, which seem to indicate that it is not illegal at the other places. Which is interesting because it is a drug. So popular but illegal. What do you think, guys? Does it make sense that it is legal at the other places?
I mean, every town is kind of its own fiefdom, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that it seems like some of the drugs are like illegal in general, right? And so some of them are legal, like like cat coffee, right? Which is not much of a drug. If this was already illegal, maybe it's like extra.
I like that
there,
actually.
Or,
so it's like, in Amsterdam, if you go to a party and somebody offers you Coke, it's not that people call the police or something. If you would do that, I don't know, in Vatican City or something, it would probably be different.
Yeah.
Cool. So I say extra legal. Nice. And during the week, Azure, your buzz disappears. So halfway during the week, you feel that the pearl that was under your tongue is completely dissolved, and you feel a bit twitchy, I have to say.
All right, I'm gonna go as deftly as possible and try to steal some from the caravan.
I mean, it's your caravan. Didn't you get something from Woosh
I have
as well?
4. I got 4.
Yeah.
If this is going to be a long-term thing, I can't have people selling bags of that stuff.
Okay. Oh, you want to steal a bag of that, a sack?
Well, I don't know about a sack. I mean, that's going to be pretty hard to hide, but maybe like a pocket full or something.
Yeah, when do you do that? If you do it in the middle of the night, then only the weird what's it called? You have this guarding fetish, the wicker thing that guards your caravan would actually see it. The rest is probably asleep.
And so I would be like not on the radar.
I don't know. Let's see. Let's find out.
Okay. Do I need to roll something?
So you do it at night when everybody is asleep. You climb out of your coffin hotel, down to the auto wagon, and you can see that there is this weird. So it's the thing is made out of wicker and bone, and has this almost like a bird mask, and it walks slowly around the.
Oh, okay.
So do you make any attempts to hide what you're doing, or do you think that thing, is your employee?
Well,
We also
how
have a
does
metal
it,
golem.
how does this work? I mean, is it like anybody who approaches guns come out? I mean, I think I'm like on the safe list at this point, right?
Puckett has actually an interesting point. You do have a metal golem. You have the security bot. I do remember who is. I like the idea that the wicker golem and the security bot that they patrol in twos, and maybe there's some kind of weird communication going on between them. But yeah, Azure, you could assume that they are on your goods, that you are on their good side, because you're muted.
Why would they have any reason not to trust me or put me on the warning list because I'm part of the caravan?
Indeed. But do you say something to them? Do you just go to the sack, stuff drugs into your pockets and then leave? Or
well, I mean, like I'm assuming that I go into a truck with maybe some sort of coverage, like one of those army trucks with the tarp over the top or something like that.
Yeah.
Is that a fair assessment of the situation?
Definitely.
All right, so I just hop up in there and I go in the back and do I see any of these?
Yeah, you see the two of them patrolling around the three trucks.
Okay, so I before I go out, I'm gonna pop another one. Like I'll pop one so I'm not all twitchy when I get there, and I'll walk up to them and I'll be like, "Oh, hey guys, what's going on? It's just me, Azure. I just have to go at the truck and get a couple of things, so don't worry about me. I have some things I need to do, but as I'll be out of here in 2 seconds. Do me a favor, don't say anything to anyone because I'm making a birthday present surprise for somebody, and it'll ruin the surprise party. All right, thanks." And then I go into the truck and I fucking, and then I go into the truck and I try to steal a bunch of drugs.
Cool, awesome. So when you pop in the thing, again, it ducks itself into your gum, like into the underside of your jaw, like not like under your tongue, and it's a bit painful, but it's also like really you get this rush. There's this rush going through your bloodstream. Awesome, and you, I don't know, a handful. What do you say? 6, 2 handfuls, 12.
Is that how much? Is that how big they are? They're like this or something like that?
Yeah, they're like this.
Oh, okay.
Fine.
Can I grab a bag? Is there any bags laying around I could grab and fill that?
Definitely.
Okay, so I'll fill a bag with this stuff.
So what I think there's 100 in a sack. Is that what we established last time? I think so.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So it would be a tenth of that.
Yeah. I was thinking like probably nobody would miss 10.
Cool.
Any more than that, it would look like people would fucking, people would be like, all right, who's fucking lifting from the fucking stash? Because Azure likes to get high on her own supply.
Definitely, this looks like it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so after the week of mainly partying with the halflings, a bit of crawling around the roots of the baobab tree, you are leaving, I think, and so you're traveling back to the river, to the road, did you guys ask about the settlers as well? I think somebody wanted to. Didn't Ned want to ask around for the other caravan?
Yeah, I wanted to ask the other caravans if they had passed them on the road or had any news from them.
Tollmaster Josip said they were coming from. So the halflings were coming from the north. and they definitely passed the Purple Fog caravan, and they told him that they were planning to settle actually at the Gale Grass area. So there's like plains where I don't know. It's a relatively fertile land, very fertile actually, and they wanted to settle down there. And you didn't ask the. I think during the week, the last thing I'm saying before you leave, you did find out that the ferry in Jade Baobab is traveling through, has 3 destinations, and let's see, what are the 3 destinations? There's a ferry to Red Bear, that's where you're coming from. There's a ferry to Iron Pike. I think Azure was a bit interested in that. There's a ferry to Skybridge, and that's it. So just in case you wanted to maybe take the ferry instead of traveling. But anyway, so you leave the Jade Baobab, you travel along the canyon, which gets deeper and deeper the further east you travel, and you can see down that there's the water of the Red River is actually red when it comes from the east, and then you stand before a bridge that crosses the Red River. And that is a really, really dodgy looking bridge. So it's an old, pretty rusty metal bridge. It has a lot of holes in it. There are actually a couple of creatures crawling over the bridge. Let's see.
No one happens to be a structural engineer around here, are they?
Well, there are. It looks like mechs. They look like they are red-sized, and they similar to the gargoyles on the glass bridge that were trying to repair it. But these mechs, tiny mechs, they seem to be less. That's okay. They seem to be less successful in what they're doing.
How deep is the river?
At that point, it must be something like 30 yards, maybe.
30 yards deep or across?
Deep.
Do I have a sense yet of what that full spectrum radiation blast does? I don't know that I had delved into that after learning its name.
Yeah, well, that's all I know as well.
Okay.
So I think I think the more broad it is, obviously the more handy it can be, and the more specific you write it. So in YTech, it is the way you phrase it determines how much it costs. So wizardry of casting spells cost life in YTech. You will have to invest HP, and if your spell describes exactly what you're trying to do, the costs are lower than if you have a very, very broad definition. And then we can also, it's a back and forth between me and you when you want to cast a spell. Like if the target is really far away, the cost is higher. If you prepare the spell, it's like a ritual that takes an hour, the cost is lower. If you use some kind of rare ingredients, if you have to burn a golden ember pearl, the cost is lower again. So
I see. Gotcha.
It's a bit of a haggling mechanic.
Got it.
So what do? There's this rat Vex crawling over the bridge, trying frantically to repair something, but they don't seem to have anything to repair with. And then frequently there's like rusty dust falling into Red River.
Here I'm gonna. We'll see if this could maybe two birds with one stone kind of a thing. They don't have anything to repair, and I've got a sack of busted golem parts.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe to distract them and maybe gain a functioning golem. I'll sort of like dump the bag of golem parts in like a heap and see if they, swarm it.
Okay, they might. Before you do that, they might repair the golem, or they may take the golem parts and use them to repair the bridge.
Oh, and you said these are Vohm rats, right?
No, they're described as rat Vex. I can read out what.
Oh, okay, that's good. So they're not like corrupted. Yeah, I'll experimentally see what happens if I like dump out like 3 or 4 pieces of like a golem arm. And see if out of the sack and see what they do with it.
So it's more like you're looking at what you don't have like an intention with what you do. Yeah,
I do. I mean, I'm hoping that if these are gonna like harass us, that they'll be fixated on the parts instead.
Okay.
And if they seem like they're fixated on repairing things but don't have anything to repair, I'd be curious to see what they do with this, parts of a broken golem.
Mm-hmm. I think. I mean, they have no supplies whatsoever, and they seem to be a bit desperate. So I would say make a charisma check with advantage to see, if they get the intention.
All right. Let's see. The better of the 2 rolls is a 1. So
nice.
Yeah,
that is a success. So they do exactly what you expected. They come closer. They stand on their hind legs. They sniff the air, and then they have this like normally rats have pretty short arms. They have much longer arms, also bigger, like longer fingers, and they grab the parts that they can carry or drag them behind them and start to fill holes and so forth. You would assume that this will take at least a day before that makes a structural difference. Any more idea? Do you just wait? I mean, Azure, I can imagine, is already like impatient.
Not that it would make a difference from the way that time is tracked in the game, but Sarko is interested enough in obtaining a free golem, if that's how this looks like it's trending, that maybe he could stay with one vehicle and then like catch up if Azur's just got to keep moving.
I mean, if your goal was to, we can change your intention a little bit. If your goal was to like domesticate or befriend the rats, that could also be like a side effect. I mean, you had a really good success.
That they come along?
Yeah, in the sense that they seem to be able to repair shit and put things together. So maybe you can.
We've gotten some fallen London repair rats with us now.
Yeah, maybe. But do you want to stay behind and the others want to cross? What's the plan?
If it seems like I can, lure them to come with, as like, or at least some of them to come along, and like they'll just keep doing what they're doing, so much the better.
Is this bridge actually safe for our vehicles to cross at this point?
So for the 2 heavy trucks, at the moment, the likelihood is 50-50 that it will break down. So it's a 3 in 6 chance that none of the big hitters will make it. For the pickup, the Redlander pickup, I would say the chance is 1 in 6 at the moment.
So, go ahead.
Those ferries, are they the kind of ferry that could fit, our auto wagons on them or not?
The ferry at Jade Baobab is described as the following: a hulking, half gravitational. It seems to be really, really big. I would say if you're the only passengers, you put the 3 auto wagons on it.
Okay.
Hey guys, I'm not very comfortable with us hanging out here waiting for these rats to kind of report. Maybe we'll pair the golems and we might fall into the river. So I think we ought to go to take the ferry across over to that fucking iron pike and go check that out, because there might be some really cool stuff in there.
And it seems like the ferry reached some other destinations as well, right? Like that we could just maybe bypass the bridge.
Yeah, it goes to Sky River, or does it go to that hand?
It goes to Red Bear, Iron Pike, Skybridge, and Skybridge, the 3 destinations.
Where's
Red
Skybridge? Am I missing
Yeah.
that? I see Sky River, but I see Gravel River, Teal River.
Yeah. Skybridge is a bridge over. You can assume it's not on the map, but you can assume it's a bridge over.
Oh, okay, all right.
Got it.
I don't know. I would like to. I mean, what do you think about Iron Pike? I've got all the shit I need for an apocalypse, so I don't really need to dig around for stuff anymore. But it looks like kind of interesting. I mean, but what do you guys think about just cutting to the chase and heading over to Sky River?
That seems fine by me. I'll hopefully if it doesn't take a day to befriend some rats that come along.
No, to befriend them to come along, you already managed to do that.
Okay.
It's if you want to wait for them to make some structural change to the bridge, it would be a day.
Okay, no. Don't need to do that. I'll befriend them. Come along, Vec rats.
Yeah,
I
just golem parts and let him work in the truck on the road. That's your idea?
Dennis?
I was going to say that I just as soon not I just as soon not have the caravan end in a collapsed bridge.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. I don't want to.
But we do need to get north.
Well, yeah, we can do that. I think if we take the ferry
take
to
the ferry.
Skybridge.
If we take the ferry to Skybridge, we can go on around the river, go around from there.
Can I ask a random question? This
Always.
is bookkeeping. Would hanging out with the hobbits count as carousing?
No. You could. You can always carouse. I didn't mention it because I'm an idiot. But at any destination, you can obviously carouse with the villagers.
Right. Okay, cool. All right, so that's good to know.
At civilized locations, you can always look for destinations, carouse, do market research, work, and do everything that you can do at camp. So heal, forage. Stuff.
Right. So we basically just have to declare I'm carousing, and then
Yeah, exactly. And then you buy a little bit of booze, and then you carouse. Yes. Oh. Fuck it. It's making noise. So I think that you are traveling back to the Jade Baobab. Is that the idea?
yeah, and then get very
Cool. All right. So you're traveling back, and at the ferry. Let's say it is 2 days before it arrives, so it has made the trip to the Iron Pike and is coming back. Do you want to do anything special at the Jade Baobab? Now you could carouse, for example, or do you want to just wait?
I forget. You can level up when you carouse or something like that? Is that correct? I mean, I'm not ready to level up or anything like that.
So carousing is you spend a week and a certain amount of money, and
Right.
then you make a random roll, and something horrible can happen, something cool can happen, and something awesome can happen.
I'm cool with just waiting around and getting out of Dodge.
All right. So after the 2 days, so it's a Hoover.
Sorry,
Oh,
I
go
was
on.
muted. I muted myself accidentally. If there's time, I'll spend whatever time I can in those 2 days trying to, build that connection with the Rat Vex and seeing how far we can get with maybe trying to, put this golem, put a skeleton of a golem together with the parts.
Can you roll d6 how many rats you followed?
Yeah, sure.
Followed you.
Yeah. Da-da-da. 2.
2 of the rats. All right. How do you establish, like, you have befriended them, they're interested in you, you have cool shit, like, how do you try to communicate to them what they are supposed to do?
Are they sufficiently advanced that my salamander could talk with them?
Definitely.
Cool. Then I'll have my salamander Flux be the ambassador, so to speak.
So I think what we see is again the 2 rats, and I mean they're Vex, so they are mechanical in nature. They're like small robots, and they have the small like LED lights as eyes, and Cataract is sitting. The 3 of them sit around in a circle, and then there's some kind of. Well, how do you think that the communication goes? It's like digital pheromones, light signals.
Yeah, I think like perhaps like binary code through like sort of like signal, like light signaling between them, but just like fast enough that it just kind of looks just like a high-speed flutter.
Cool. And so you do have these parts. I mean, you could theoretically like use the. You also have the suit. I think the what's it called? The ornate suit.
Oh, that armor that the Ultra was in.
Yeah, that we were saving for Hamish.
How big is the golem supposed to be? Do you want like a man-sized one?
I don't know.
Just depends. Like I make a clock for you, progression clock, and the like for human sized, I would say 8 pieces maybe. A red size is maybe 3 pieces, and I don't know what's in between, a monkey sized or something. Will be 5.
Sure. I'll think on it and I'll let you know.
Cool. All right. So this gigantic Hoover anti-grav vehicle approaches the shore, and it looks a bit like like this big ferries between I don't know, Dover and Calais or something. So it's really, really big. You have to pay your fee. That's probably a job for the caravan leader. And it is so to Skybridge it's 15 per person. To Iron
Per person or per vehicle?
it's per person. I would say per person. Per person / vehicle. So 15. It's 45 for the 3 car, the auto wagons, and then how many people are you? So there's Beth, Austin's, Vigo, and the 4 of you.
You forgot Umberto.
Umberto, how can I forget Umberto, my favorite NPC?
Yeah, the best. I mean,
Yeah, he's number one.
yeah, like somehow he continues to live.
with 1 HP.
So there's 8 of us plus 3 vehicles.
Yes, times 15.
So that's 165.
For Skybridge, you could also do Iron Pike. That would be 7.
We also have Casey.
Casey's not a person.
Not a person.
You may be
Okay.
married to Casey, but Casey does not count for purposes of calculating the tariff
Okay.
for the ferry.
And the 4 halflings, they pay themselves. Like they pay for themselves.
We have 4
Okay.
halflings with us. I thought it was just 3.
It's 4 in total. It's Tollmaster Josip and 3 of his goons.
Okay, and how many hit dice do they have?
That is a good question. They have
Joseph and 2 others, you said?
4 HD.
4 HD, okay. And do they have any particular skill that we should put on here?
You haven't, I haven't specified it yet. Their skill is being gluttonous, if that is a skill.
Okay, fair.
Skill, foodie.
Hedonism.
So I think it was Skybridge where you wanted to travel. I know that Azure was slightly interested in Iron Peak, so I just want to double check.
It looks cool on the map, but if everybody wants to go over to Skybridge, that's fine with me. I don't care. I'll just wave.
All right.
I mean, we got plenty of time, but you know, I'd kind of like to kick it to Nathan because Abe, you and I are in this a lot. You know, Dennis, I think you're set up for the next round, aren't you?
Nope. I'm on the wait list.
Okay. Well, in that case, Nathan, Dennis, what do you two think?
Do we know anything interesting about Iron Pike by reputation?
Yes, you know that Iron Pike is the 3rd village, so they're the 3 big villages. You have heard, you know, during the week when that you stayed in Jade Baobab that they are considered heretics. But I mean, from the perspective of Sister Mercy, all the other villages are heretics. It is supposed to be like a former hippie wizard commune, but it has changed its culture a lot in the last hundreds of years. And they are situated in like a glass dome of 3 circling like glass domes with an entrance that aligns once in a certain time. So getting in is a pretty difficult.
I see. In terms of time.
And so we're getting out. Although they probably have, if they were a former hippie commune, they probably have some good drugs.
Safe to assume.
We could probably sell gold and amber, much to Azure's dismay, but we could probably unload it there for some money.
Well, gold and amber is relatively local still. I was thinking we might haul it a little bit further before we try to sell it, but we can see what it goes for there.
That's cool.
I'm 50-50. I mean, there's interesting stuff all over. So
There are incredibly many discoveries to make. I think the 3 Sticks area is the most dense concerning discovery. I have a referee.
You're roboting like crazy.
yeah, it's pretty rough.
I am? Okay. So, can you hear me?
Still roboting. Yeah,
Yeah,
it looks
you're
like you
frozen.
locked up on your cam.
Oh, interesting. I will switch up my cam. Did that
Oh, it's
help?
not me this time. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, it sounds like it's cleared it up for at least
Yeah.
audio.
All right, cool. So, I have a referee map of the Three Sticks area, and every single fucking hex has a discovery. So this place is really, really interesting.
Let's go.
Which is to say, you can go to Iron Pike or to Skybridge, and you will see wondrous things either way.
Mm-hmm. I'm mildly interested or mildly inclined towards an island. That seems kind of neat, but I have no strong feeling.
Dennis? You're muted.
I was gonna say works for me.
Okay.
Oh, I guess maybe
Cool.
if it's a concern, is it going to cost us more money, like to get off at Iron Pike and then go over to Skybridge later?
Let's see. So to Iron Pike is 7, and from Iron Pike, it's a very remote village, and they have their own ferry. No, it would be the same, but they have different locations as well. So you could go different places from there.
Cool.
Okay.
That sure. If it's like a hub for many ferries, that's excellent. Let's do that.
All right. So Ned would have to deduce 7 times 8, I think.
56.
Yep.
But isn't it 7 times
and that
11
is-
because of the vehicles?
Yeah. Well, and then the 3 vehicles exactly.
So
So
77.
76.7, yeah.
Cool. All right. On the journey, why don't we make, because we haven't done it yet, why don't we make a misfortune roll for the Three Sticks Lake? Who feels lucky?
I've been rolling pretty well. But I just needed a system where I have to roll low, it seems like. So I'm happy to do it.
Well, I have bad news for you. You have to roll high.
On these ones.
D20 plus your charisma modifier, which is 0, I think.
Okay. I'm still fine to do it if nobody else wants to.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see what we get on my UVG dice. I get an 8. Not great.
8. Ooh.
Not great. Not
So, that's true. So, I think I failed to mention that there's always like this electric smog over the lake. When you look to the south, you can see the near moon looming over the horizon, and that obviously causes the surface of the lake to sometimes like freakishly rise, for example. So the stuck force, as gravity is called in the UVG, is unpredictable in that area. But also there are really strong winds, and I think your super cool map gets like you stand around on the deck of the ferry, and there's like a very strong gust of wind blowing over the deck, blowing the map away, and that's the map of the Three Sticks area.
So the map is being blown away in the wind.
The map is being blown away by the wind, and then
Somebody grab it.
Is being or has been?
has been blown
Okay.
away. Gone with the wind. You can assume that if Iron Pike also has some kind of tourism board, maybe you can buy another, maybe even a better one. Who knows? For
Sure.
more money. But Dennis, can you roll a D8 for the encounter?
Unfortunately, I can, but I know how my die rolls go.
When Sarko loses the map, he says rats, and then he says to the Vex, "Not you."
I rolled an 8.
8, interesting. So that is at the end of your journey. You can see, so during the night, you can see some cool shit going on to the east, actually. So,
So behind
there's
us.
behind you, you're moving away from it. There is, on the shores of the lake, let's see, there is... Give me a second. What's it called? Grey Glow. It looks as if there's like a gigantic screen flickering on. It's a bit like static on a display. And
Are you saying that the sky over the port is the color of a television tuned to a dead channel?
I wouldn't go that far.
I understood that reference.
I understood the reference as well. No, it's more like a screen. Like it's more like I know that you have that in the United States a lot. These cinemas where you go to with your car. What are they called?
Drive-in.
Drive-in. Drive-through. Drive-in.
Drive-in.
Yes, and but the screen itself doesn't really seem to display anything like no scenes, but from that weird static screen there emerge like half transparent people that walk out of that screen. So that is what you see at night. If anyone is at night, standing on the ferry, marveling at the view, and then in the morning when you approach the island, let's read it out. The Old Isle. So the island itself is eroded, so that the whatever stone structure above, there are hillocks of eroded steel constructions. They are and these hillocks, they are like profusions from the ground, scattered all over the land. And you can see like gnarled cypresses and pines. But the needles have like a rusty tinge to it, again as if made from metal. You can also see, I guess to the west on the shore, there are creatures like crawling out of the water, and they have this synthetic skin that hangs from them like rags. They seem to be some kind of machine humans, maybe, that live in the water, and they grab someone from the shore. So on the shore there's like an encampment of which looks like nomads, and there's like a fight ensuing. These nomads look also pretty weirdly. It's too far from you to actually engage with a fight, but you could investigate later on.
Are you sure about that? I mean, Austin's and I do have sniper rifles.
Oh, yes, indeed. So what do you do? So the scenery is the following. There are like 8 of these nomad types sitting around the campfire, completely unaware of what is happening. And through your scope, you can see that they grab the ash from the campfire and just eat it, which is weird enough. and then from the water emerges 3 of these machine humans with the synthetic skin, and they move like in a incredibly fast, half leaping, half running, and they the 3 of them grab one of the nomads and try to drag her into the water. What do you do?
I'm just going to use my special with the sniper rifle. Just kill one of them outright.
Yes, and we have to add that Nida has now 2 active groups. Like you can have Ajax and the sniper and the plasma gun active. So you don't have to roll. This is completely within the scope of your talents. What is your goal? Like you can definitely try to incapacitate, if that is a word. Like you can ward them off, for example. You can definitely kill one of them. You can wound all of them. What's the goal?
Well, let me ask you this. Is it reasonable, given my training and the special skill, that I can instead fire a number of shots in quick succession sufficient to scare these machine humans off and back into the water so that I don't have to kill them?
Yeah, that is not even a roll. Like suppression fire is exactly one of the uses.
Okay. Yeah, because we haven't been over there, we don't know what's what, we don't know who's who. Maybe it's not the best idea for me to just like randomly kill things.
One of the factions, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So
how does it look like?
Well, we see this going on. Austin's waves to me, signals that there's 3. I kind of sigh, check the scope, I see what's going on. And I'm not even at this point. I just have I have my rifle braced against my shoulder. I'm not even holding the grip, and I fan the trigger about half a dozen times. And the entire point is basically putting plasma bolts close enough to these individuals to let them know the next one won't. This was a warning. The next one won't be. Get back.
Yeah, and you can see the explosion of the plasma bullets in the sand, and the 3 I call them machine humans staggering back and disappearing into the water. And like half an hour later, the ferry arrives on the eastern shore of the island. And from where you are, you can see, let's see, how is it described? You can see this orb. It is built as an eccentric orb, 50 meters across, which is pretty small, that spins sedately 4 meters off the ground, just above a great platform of steelcrete, which is obviously concrete but made from steel, covered in warning petroglyphs. And it has these 3 circular openings, and I think it's like it's not really far away. So what do?
You said warning petroglyphs?
Yes.
What are they warning? Just general stay away, or is there something specific?
I mean, do you understand them is the question. I think that would warrant an intelligent roll to get the whole meaning. They
I
look,
am a lawyer.
Yes, that is true, which would give you an advantage.
So what I need to roll?
Intelligence, I think. What do you
So that's a
think?
D20
Yes.
and advantage. I roll
Equal.
two.
Yes, equal or under. Equal is the best.
Okay, my intelligence is 12, so I rolled a 16 and a 1. So
Well, the one is the success.
yes.
Well, you can understand that it's a warning glyph, and you can also see that it's not that old. So it's not from the original builders of the construction, but rather added later on. And it, let's see, it warns of the military might of the Iron Pike. It says, we will crush you. Invaders, return to safety as long as you can. All right, so Nida, do you follow up on your heroic act, or do you,
Yeah, I'm going to walk over there. Probably take Austin's with me. If any of the others want to go with as backup, more than welcome. More than happy to have them.
Mhm. So
Yeah.
nobody seems. Oh, you're there.
Sure, Azure will come.
Okay, cool. So let's see. Yeah, there's still. Is Net coming as well? No.
Yeah, I'll follow along since I'm kind of supposedly in charge of these people.
Yeah. So one other thing to mention at the jetty, and there's another big ferry, and there are a couple of canoes. But the ferry, like the really big ferry, it has a name, the Glazed Partridge. But it is half dragged on the shore, and it is somehow taken apart. It doesn't seem to be functioning, just as a information. So you approach these nomads, and neither what I mean. They have this ash around their mouth, which is already weird. But what else gives away that they are not entirely human?
Are you asking me or Nida?
Sorry, neither. Asked neither.
Sorry about that. I had actually muted myself instead of unmuting myself. Their eyes give it away. The same thing that Sarko was mentioning with the mech rats. I see the eyes flashing like in binary sequences.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And when you approach them, they don't seem to react. So they sit around the campfire in a very like erect pose, facing each other, but not facing you. What do you do?
I cough quite loudly.
I think one of them turns around, like not even standing up or anything, just turns their head, and they say something in, let's see, I want to say step.
All right. I only speak common.
Does anyone speak step?
Yeah, Sarko does.
I do, yes.
So they say, if you are our savior, We thank you, but don't expect any gratitude.
I just wanted. I saw someone being attacked by surprise. I didn't know what was going on, so I acted to stop it without harming anyone. And then I wanted to find out what the story was.
And they say the water people once in a while grab one of us, and it is the slowest that they grab.
And why do they grab you?
It's in their nature. Actually, make if you will, a D8 roll just to see what kind of rumors they have about the water people.
Mm.
That is a 2.
And I think the person that turns around is very, they have these blinking eyes. It's really difficult, relatively blank faces, difficult to, to judge their gender, for example, or their age. So they say, they come from the stars. One came from the stars, and these water people are just vehicles for them.
I see. That's interesting. And by this point, I'm looking at Sarko like, is this making any sense? Do you see anything that looks like it's coming from the stars?
I'm sorry. Can you give me that one more time?
Is this making any sense? Are you seeing anything around here that looks like it comes from the stars?
I don't think Starcone, or I say I'm not too experienced with that sort of thing. Most of my experience is pretty terrestrial. I don't know if something fell out of the sky in front of me, I might have a better frame of reference. But as it stands, I could be looking at things from the stars all day, and I'm not sure I would know the difference.
Where is this vehicle that brought them from the stars?
The Sky Chariot. Need to look. The best chance to find one, and there are more than one, is probably, let's see, just going wrong. I think it's called the high. Yeah, it's on the high horse step. If you have a map, I can show it on.
I don't have a map. If I get a map, can I bring it back to you?
Well, you saved the life of the weakest of us. It's only fair if we point you towards your doom.
Well, if I save the weakest among you, then surely you wouldn't need that person for long. They could perhaps guide us there and come back to you.
Make I don't want to have you make a charisma check all the time, but I don't know what else, what other stat would fit.
I feel like this is, well,
charisma is like luck and your presence, which would make sense. I mean, I could see wisdom as in, you can sense some kind of opening. Intelligence, if you have heard about.
how about this?
Mhm.
How about wisdom? Because I can argue as a yellow lander that has somehow managed to survive that I know a thing or two about survival.
Mhm.
And so I understand the sacrifices that are sometimes made by a tribe to keep itself strong.
Yeah, and you can see which of them is the weakest, and could see an opening there. Yeah, let's do that.
All right, so that's
And
2d20, correct?
yes, and you being a yellow lander would help here.
Yeah, that's so. Delete those two. 2d20. I got a 12 and a 19, and my wisdom is 10.
So come back, bring your false map, and we show you where to go.
That's
The
fair.
the word false map is to the map is not the territory, to show that it's not the land, but a symbolic representation of the land or something. All right. Do you turn to the Iron Pike?
I guess we need a map.
All right. So you stand before these three, there are these three orbs, and they are circling around, one inside the other, and there are these three openings. And if you wait long enough, let's see, I think it aligns relatively frequently.
Mm.
Yeah, every 10 minutes.
Okay.
And you can see through the glass already. It's a bit weird. It's as if you look through, I guess, a looking glass, or is it like no? It's probably more like what's it called? Like a telescope, but the other way round. So as if you look at the wrong end through a looking glass. So inside, everything seems to be smaller, appears further away and smaller. And I would like to ask Ned. So what gives away that indeed it had been a hippie wizard community before it has changed into like a military type of village?
Well, instead of they've got the typical, bunkers and that sort of thing. Everything's reinforced concrete and that sort of stuff. But they're painted in bright colors with flowers and rainbows and pictures of butterflies flying over where now a tank is parked or whatever. Just this total what's the word I want to do?
Juxtaposition?
That one, thank you. Between these beautiful, happy, lighthearted images and guns and barbed wire.
I saw Janis Joplin's Porsche today on Twitter. I imagine the flowery, colorful designs exactly like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So the openings align. I would have to assume that you jump in, all of you, and then from your NPCs, do you take anyone with you, or are they supposed to guard the auto wagons?
I think I take Austin's and Beth. Maybe leave the halflings with Vigo and the golems.
Mm-hmm.
Or do you want to take a halfling or two just in case we need a thief?
Umberto will want to join you.
Of course he does. He's the best.
hmm And he's also the first who enters the village. So inside your you are slightly confused because obviously inside the orb everything is exactly 314% bigger than on the outside. And also, another nauseating thing is that gravity is pointing towards the outside of the orb. So the structures that you have seen are actually on the inside of the glass. And before you manage to shake off the feeling of vertigo, you are approached by like rough-looking villagers with beards and scars and heavily armed with laser rifles and lances, and they intimidate you. They shout at you. What do you want?
I hold my hand up and look at everybody, and I walk up to them and go, "Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Azure. Me and my friends just want to come check out the place a little bit, if it's cool with you. We were just passing through, and we thought this place looked interesting on the ferry, and then now we would just really like to take a look and have a walk around, take a look at some things, if you don't mind. Do you have any suggestions for highlights?"
Are you the strongest warrior in your clan?
No.
Side note, you do like the strongest. You look like the strongest one.
Oh, because physically, because I'm ripped.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. I can take anyone down in no time at all. You step in the octagon with me, I'll break your neck.
We have a fight.
Oops.
You can also nominate somebody else, but they...
No, it's fine. I'm all hopped up on that. Nobody can stop me.
So they draw
You're
like
roboting, Horst.
Yeah, breaking up.
Shit, man. How's that? Some better?
Better.
Yep.
Nice. I know that you love to see my beautiful face, but I think the icon will do.
Well, you've got Dr. Doom up
It
there,
is.
so that's pretty good.
Okay, so they painted like a circle on the ground, and a mean-looking villager, Broadgrin the Sinewy, approaches you. No weapons, he says, and he undresses, and just leaving like what's it called, a loincloth.
Loincloth?
Loincloth, I mean.
Mm-hmm. I'm not taking off my armor.
And what we do is, if you we can do it in 1,000 different ways, but I personally always like the what's the mechanic called, where we are betting.
Yeah, sure.
The auction. So we pick you pick a stat. I think the war chief will use his strength, I think.
Mm-hmm. I'll use my dexterity because that's my highest.
Nice, smart. And what you do is you take a d6, like a physical, preferably a physical one. You roll that d6 and you don't tell me the result.
Okay. Now, do I get a bonus? Because I got totally jacked up dex and I'm methed. My dex is 16.
So you add the d6 to your 16. You don't tell me the result.
Okay.
I think what A was asking is, does he get a bonus on top of that because of the golden ember?
Yeah.
So in a normal fight, the bonus would be that you can act like you're super quick.
Oh, I get twice. I get twice.
Yeah.
I got twice during attacks. Okay, so
Yeah.
I rolled a 16 and a.
You don't
looks
tell
like
me the six.
Oh,
No,
right,
you
all
don't.
right, oh, right, all right. Okay.
Okay. Cool. And now you have a new score, which is your 16 plus the number you rolled.
Right.
Okay. And now you tell me, you make a first, like so. The war chief makes his first move. He tries to grab you, and mechanically, what he does is he bets a 3, which means what I'm saying is when I will roll between a 3 and my new high stat. So let's say I have a 15. You don't know that.
Right.
And what I'm saying is I will be able to roll between a 3 and a 15.
Oh, okay.
So what you can do is, no, I will, jump to the side and have him, grab the air, and I bet, I don't know, 5 or something, and then I can raise or I can have you roll, and that's how the auction works. So the first bet is a 3.
Okay, so I can say I want to dodge, and then I have to bid more, so like a 4.
Yes.
And then I have to roll. Then what do I have to roll?
So if you say your next bet is 4, you can wait for me. If I have if I think that my dude will be able to top that, then I will just make a next bet. I will raise. At a certain point, somebody doesn't want to raise anymore, and then you can say, I want to see. And then I would have to roll between the number I told you and the new stat. Or I can tell you, no, I want to see. And then you would have to roll between the number you set the last and the highest.
Okay.
Got it.
So I've got a dex of 16. My math skills are god awful. So I would need to, say I said 7. I would need to roll between 7 and 16.
Well, you rolled a d6 and you added that to your 16. So it would be between 7 and 16 plus the d6 you just rolled.
So what you have to. So I roll the dice once. Maybe this was a bad idea to do it this way.
It doesn't matter. It's really easy. So
okay.
Imagine you rolled a 3. I don't want to know what you rolled, but imagine you rolled.
Right.
You would add the 3 to your 16, and now your new dexterity is 19. You write that number down. You write that number down, and that is the highest that you can go, if you will.
Got it.
So now you're telling me you roll between a 4 and a 19, and then I say now 5, and I say 5 and my new high score, and so on.
Okay. All right, you just tell me when to roll, and then I'll do it.
Yeah. Okay. So the last bit.
Now I get 2 attacks per round. So do I get to do it like 2 rolls?
What we could do is at the end, if you do the roll, if you do the rolling, you can roll twice.
Okay. All right. Cool. So now I have to top 3, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll say 5.
All right, and you dodge him. So he stumbles past you, and then he grabs the sand and throws it into your eyes. The old trick. What do you do?
I'll try to dodge it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do like a cartwheel to dodge it because I'm all hopped up.
And mechanically, what he bets is a 7.
So he's got to roll between a 7 and whatever his skill is, right?
Yeah. He looks like an HD 5 person, which would give him a 15 in his strongest stat, plus whatever I rolled.
All right. Let's see. I will. So, I'm sorry. What did he bet? 7?
Yes.
I'll raise it to 8.
Yeah, you do your wheelie with an 8, and he tries to tackle you, and this is my bet of let's say 9.
Okay. I'll leapfrog him for a 10.
Okay, I want to see. So now
Okay,
you have
so
to roll
between
over a
10
and what did you roll?
What?
What
You're
did you roll
roboting.
on?
Oh, now
On your-
I tell you. Now I tell you what I rolled.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I rolled a 5. So I've got a 21.
Holy shit! You can't. You only fail on a 20 then, and if you roll lower than your 10.
So okay. So what do I roll? A 6 die or a 10 or a 20?
A D20, and want to roll
All right.
over your 10.
I did. I rolled an 11.
Nice. So you do. What was your last move? So describe how you take him down.
I leapfrogged him, and so like he was like charging forward at me, and I just leapfrogged over him, and then when I landed, I did like a breakdancey leg sweep, and took his legs out from under him. Then I jumped up on him and grabbed his leg and his neck, and I put him into kind of an STF MMA hold.
and he taps. All right. You won.
And I get up and I'm licking my lips, and I'm like, "That's right, I won, motherfucker, because I told you I would."
All right. So you are welcomed into the village. And can you hear me, guys, or am I roboting?
Yeah. No, we can hear you.
Oh, nice. Cool. So the village is run by 3 people. You find out pretty quickly. Broadgrin, the sinewy that you just slaughtered. Then the other leadership is Swiftstep the Bumbler, and you have the feeling that the true ruler of the village is Matilda, who is who introduces herself as a witch, and maybe Nathan. How do you see that she is a skin rider? So the person that she is wearing, so to speak, is possessed by her.
Let's see. I think that there are maybe it's most visible in the face. There's like maybe a mismatch between like the flesh part of the face and sort of like the bone structure of the face. Like it kind of looks like you're trying to like a mask on a head that the mask wasn't designed to fit.
Nice. You're taken into what looks like maybe I think Dennis described it as a bunker of some sorts. That is covered in this very colorful graffiti. And the inside has like a very clannish military tint to it. Despite all the colorful graffiti, there's display of weapons and I don't know, like hunted animals and stuff. And Matilda looks at all of you, and she points at you, Nida, and she says in a hoarse voice, "You know that this thing is trying to come out. The thing in your pocket."
I look at her quizzically and hold up the crystal snail. This?
Yes. Yes, this. I'd be careful if I were you.
Tell me more.
You captured an Ultra, is that true? You lured it inside?
Not captured. It's complicated.
Whatever it is, it wants to come out.
Yes, it wants a body. And we're trying to help it find one.
Well, you need to find quickly, or it will find you.
I see.